Race number 8 on the programme, Class 3. We get into a strong finish here with the 11 races on the card. This is over the 1,200 metres. 2 horses making their Hong Kong debut, 12 got a post. Regency Bobo's won 2 of his last 3. Zach Purton is on board for those wins, jumps back on board. Mr Snowden makes his Hong Kong debut, he's a 2-time winner out of the UK. Red Titan gets the earplugs hitting on debut, not too bad. 3rd to Sparkling Dragon, that was at Happy Valley. The Golden Scenery also makes his Hong Kong debut, a 2-time winner out of Australia. But the big name here is Master 8 after bolting up in Class 4, straight into Class 3 here. Fearless Fire drops from the 1650 down to the 1200 metres. That's where he's done his winning at Happy Valley this season. And down to Wood on Fire has also been winning at Happy Valley over the 1200 metres. His 3 wins there. Master 8's in front. Is that all they see of him, maybe, Tom?
I think so, potentially, Andrew. He'll get to the front, to rack them, stack them, and then he'll run them into the deck. I think Master 8, horse number 9 for Joe Moreira and Frankie Law. Perfect Glory from gate number 11 will look to come across. You've got Quadruple Double. He used to be a leader, this horse, but he's never really got anywhere near the pace in his last few runs, and he's had a handful of runs this campaign back in now. Regency Bobo, Super Wind Dragon drawn awkwardly there in that barrier number 8, and of the newcomers, the Golden Scenery probably midfield, and Mr Snowden back.
We'll come back to the Golden Scenery in a moment. We'll start off, though, with the favourite. It'll be a short price as well. That's Master 8 and jockey Joe Moreira.
Joe, Master 8, a very impressive winner by over 3 lengths on debut. Was that the sort of performance off his trials that you were expecting?
Yeah, well, he did what we were expecting. He was very straightforward as he was at his trials and on his preparation. And actually, he kind of surprised me in the way that he hits the line. It was very strong, and that gives us a lot of excitement about this bloke.
You got across the field from the start pretty easily. Did he come back underneath you nicely after that?
As I said, he's done it very straightforward, very professionally, and when I did ask him to come back a little bit, he responded like a professional horse. So he's a type of a horse that is going to make the trainers and the jockeys' life much easier.
You rode him on Monday morning in a bit of track work down the back straight on the turf. He looked in pretty good form that morning.
Yeah, listen, we took him to the gate, we jumped out. I was asked not to go too fast with him, but he's just feeling so well on himself that we end up going a little bit faster than what the trainer wanted. But at the end of the day, he pulled up very well after the gallop, and I'm sure he's going to be able to bring what he's got best to the races.
I noticed he wears the hood in all of his track work pretty much. Is that something potentially that could be used on race day with him?
It could, but you see, first day at the races, he coped it very well. He's done nothing wrong, so I wouldn't be talking about that subject with the trainer at this stage. But it's always good to have a card under the sleeves to use in case if it's a need. Apparently, it's not a need at the moment.
You've ridden some pretty good 3-year-olds through the course of the season, Joe. On the ladder of 3-year-olds that you have ridden, where does he currently sit?
If he's not at the top, he would be sitting second. That means it's just a matter of time until he improves a little bit more. He might be as good as the one that I would put on the top.
Confidence levels for Sunday?
Very high.
That'll do for me. Very high. He set a class record, Tom, as well, on debut of 108.4, which is well inside a standard even for Class 3.
Absolutely, and Joe pointing out that he'd probably sit second on the list of 3-year-olds he's ridden at the top at this season. So does that mean Courier Wonder's at the top?
I'd say so, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be hard to knock Courier Wonder. So, look, he won so easy. He won the trial really well, and he's doing everything right. As Joe said, he's a professional racehorse, and I can't see any reason why he'll be beaten on Sunday. All
right, OK, that is Master 8. Who is going to chase him home then, Paul? Regency Bobo?
Yes, I think he will. Regency Bobo is a 7-time winner here. Look, he's won off a rating of 86, so he's won off higher ratings before. He carries the big weights. He's a real tough horse. So if anything's going to beat Master 8, I think it'll be Regency Bobo.
I didn't quite get him in the end, Regency Bobo, but he's had a good season, back end of the season anyway, with those 2 wins. Matthew Poon was on board last time out. He was beaten there by a Dublin Star, but he's an old marvel as Regency Bobo, so wouldn't shock if he was up there in the top 3 or 4 again.
Zach's ridden him 12 times. He's finished first or second on 5 occasions as well. So that's Regency Bobo. The Golden Scenery, Tom, making his debut here. 2-time winner out of Australia, along with Super Dobbin at the trials.
I'm going to throw in the Golden Scenery. He was known as Dominant King when he raced over in Australia. Wins at Ipswich and Doomben, both by 2 lengths. He didn't have a lot of early speed in that last barrier trial of his, but he was pushed out a little bit late, but look, I thought he wasn't too bad in his few trials that we've seen. Vincent Ho rides for Tony Cruz, so I'll take a little chance with him first up.
Yeah, I didn't get him in. He said those 3 trials, tongue-tie on his debut run, but yeah, I want to see it a little bit more.
All right, that horse finishing second in that trial as well looked impressive. Was Naboo Attack. We missed him. He wanted a big price first up. Who's going to win this then, Paul? Master 8, 1.5.
Yeah, Master 8's on top for me. I think he's a lot better than this class, so he's clearly on top. To beat Regency Bobo, I think he's the forecast. Super Dobbin, he should get a nice run in the race from Barrier 2 and has run some pretty good races, but in particular that second behind Master Montaro. And then Chicken Dance, he's had that injury problems. He's never come back to quite the same horse, but he's slowly getting there. So I didn't want to completely rule him out. 9-1-4-8.
9 Master 8 clearly on top. He should be able to panel this field, Master 8. But to play around him, a quadruple double. He had a nice run of the trail last time out. Just wasn't quite able to go on with it. It was a blanket finish. But he's a 4-time course and distance winner. And Matthew Poon gets on well with him as well. Quadruple double. The Golden Scenery's in. And Super Dobbin, he's dropped 26 pounds as a consequence of being gelded. He trialled up behind Packing Kingdom. In the same trial as him recently at Happy Valley. Didn't mind the trial, so 9-3, 7-4.
Master 8, very, very hard to beat. I've included, though, Mr. Snowden. Just the one trial. Hard to do much off just one trial in terms of gauge where he is, but didn't mind it. So interesting to see what he can do for Douglas White and Jerry Chow. But that's the first of our Class 3s, race number 8 over the 1200.